Did your audio, Tazonic? Okay. Sweet spot, come on.
Audio's included. Hello, everybody.
Hello and
Oh, you do.
welcome
Okay, you
to.
do. You
I was
do.
gonna say,
No, you do it then. It's fine.
okay, great start. We said that at exactly the same
I
time.
know.
Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix. We are here in Division 2 and I am joined by Tazonic. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Butler. Yeah, looking forward to this. Japan's quite a challenging track, especially in the rain right now, as you can see. So it will be interesting to see who's got the pace. At least in qualifying, I think it's going to be wet. In the race, however, it will be dry, so it'll be a completely different ball game. So it'll be good to see. Yeah, this is round 18, so I've only got, well, including this round, I've got 5 rounds left. And if you've also noticed, there is no Chalupa on the grid today. Chalupa is unable to make it, which that's game for Alfie, I guess you can say, to extend his championship lead.
Yeah, obviously, after the calamity for Chalupa at the Russian Grand Prix, where he did not finish and Alfie went on to win the race, that extended his championship lead by 34 points, which is a real big blow to Chalupa's title races. With only 5 rounds to go, obviously, towards the end of this season. As you can see, guys, we're obviously in Q2 at the moment. That's because we did only have 15 drivers for the grid, and as you can see, there's only 12 people left. That is because both Bonge and Halo both picked up qualifying bans for intentionally crashing out in the previous race in Russia, and Nicholas as well, who is here, has crashed out in Q1, pushing his car to the limits.
Crashed out.
Terminal damage.
He
So
crashed
he
out
will
at
be
he crashed out at 130R. So hello, Nicholas in chat. Sorry for giving you a limelight.
Yeah, so anyway, with 12 drivers and with the rain, obviously there are some heavy favourites, particularly looking towards Loki, who obviously got pole in the wet at Singapore, but then fell down the order in the race, and that was where P-Bent's got his first win. But looking at what the qualifying times were, it seemed to be very close between him and Stewart, actually, for the fastest time, obviously. We've heard
And
it's a
Alfie
dry
and
race.
P-Bents, in fact. So
Yeah.
all different
we've heard
teams
it's a
right
dry-
at the top. So really good to
We've heard
see.
it's a dry race, so hopefully that's a shame for Loki, obviously, but
They all get to start on fresh tyres though. It's a simple one-stop round Japan. Normally soft, medium, medium soft. Hards aren't really viable around here, of course, unless you get damage in the first few opening laps. But it's quite a simple. Yeah, Mr. Tada for Q3 says Bond. He might do it, to be fair. Only 12 in Q3. If you get anyone that keeps invalidating or anyone that crashes, he might make his first Q3 appearance. So we'll be
yep.
willing him on.
This is probably one of the trickiest tracks in the wet, I have to say. It's
Oh,
very
Alfie!
very
Alfie's crashed it. Alfie's out.
Alfie has smashed it. Oh
Yeah.
my god, where has he crashed that at?
Sector 1. Long left
that is
sector 1.
crucial. That is crucial for that throws the race wide open, with also Nicholas DNFing and also Chalupa obviously not being
So,
here. There is a gap
Stewart.
wide open.
Game Stewart now. He can if he
Stewart, this is your chance.
This is his
This
chance.
is your chance, Stewart.
P-Bents has a
This is your moment,
138.0. Good lap.
Come on, Stewart.
Who's next?
Do me
Korn,
proud.
39.8.
We could see. We're going to see that must mean we're going to see a very interesting front three of the grid. Obviously, the big hitters are not turning up. Chalupa must be gutted now that he is not turning up to this race. Obviously.
Exactly, Bond. Yeah.
Well, there was drama.
Only
in
one
Q1
more
and we
car
didn't
and
even
then
get
Tado.
it.
Only one more car and Tado in the top 10. That's what we all want to see.
Yeah. I think we're obviously going to get a very interesting top three on the grid, obviously, but there's some opportunities here with people to get some of their best results. You like to think, obviously, Japan usually throws up some good races. Obviously, memorably, last year in Division 1 seemed to be a very good race as well.
That was terrible
We get
for
this
me.
beautiful,
I don't want to think about it.
as we get this beautiful camera angle at
Drinking
turn
into
1.
the bits.
That's one of the best camera angles in the game, other than probably the helicopter shot.
Tado's been on a pretty respectable lap. It's been quite clean. In the wet, in the wet. It's not exactly all about how quick you're going. It's more about how little you slide, isn't it? So it's not looking too bad for Tado here. 41.6. Not too bad. Not too far off. Loki next, who should be on an absolute flyer of a lap.
128 dead to beat, and I don't think he's going to beat it. No, he's well off the pace.
Yeah,
but he's going to probably go on for another lap. Obviously with intermediate. What's it? With intermediate times, obviously, you could probably do, the ERS is probably manageable to do 2 laps.
Yeah, exactly,
With
and
the right amount of
the
fuel
wear as well, because the wear's not too high around here. They can probably do good 2 or 3 laps around here without actually having to, without losing too much time. So don't be surprised if we see a couple of runs from each of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is Stewart's chance.
Like
He's
P-Vance, for
obviously one of the
example. P-Vance is on his third lap.
He is third. Yeah, he is third in the championship. Is Stewart, and obviously Mr. Consistency with all the podiums he's got. He's had 2 back-to-back second places now, and he is right in the thick of getting second place in the championship. I don't think he's going to catch Alfie, but with Alfie down in 11th and Stewart, if Stewart gets the win,
Alfie will get 12th.
He has got an outside chance. He has got an outside chance of getting victory.
Alfie will qualify 12th. So.
Well, yeah, Alfie will be 12th, but he's also got Bonge and Halo, who are very respectable drivers. So it's going to be carnage trying to get through. Obviously, with Nicholas as well, all eyes are going to be on Nicholas. Obviously, sector 2, and that is a Racing Point gone. That is Legend, who's gone at the hairpin.
Tell you who's on an absolute stonker roll up right now is P-Vance. He's 2 tenths up in sector 1 already on his 38.0. So I don't know if the track conditions are improving, or he's just generally got insanely good pace.
Love it, Bond. You're too kind. Bond, you're a former race winner in this league. You're a former race winner.
We're waiting for Divbot to wake up still, aren't we? Yep. Come on, Divbot. Wake up. P-Vance is 2.5 temps up. Oh, there you go, Divbot. Just as I said.
And Loki doesn't... And I have to point out, Loki didn't really improve on his time.
To be honest, it's Q2. He just needs to get through it, really. Maybe he's being quite cautious.
There comes P-Vance round in the final
Should
corner
improve.
now. He's got lots of ERS save, and this is going to be an absolute brilliant lap.
Wow.
A 37.5. That is 1.5 seconds quicker than anyone. Whew. Who have we got viewing? I don't know who's watching the stream. You can do that.
Who have we got? Let's have a look. Bonge, obviously. Nicholas is here. Obviously, they're sitting out from going out in Q1. Lucky guys, you got Miguelino, Platinum's in chat. This is... Oh, Butler, you're here.
Hi, man.
Hello. 15 races ago exactly, such a long time. You should have had that break, Bonge.
What's happened, Bonge? What's happened? You are the fastest.
Who've we got going? Zombez is about to go on a hot lap. Shadow's invalidated. Ruction's finishing his hot lap now, I think. Does a 1:39.7.
Fastest. Oh, a bit of a twitch on the straight.
Stewart's on a hot lap, Green King is, and Apollo as well. I believe Apollo is going to be the next. Loki's going to be the next across the line, I think. Yep.
Loki needs to get a good lap in. He is out of fuel and he's 6 temps down his personal best.
Oh, he's going to go in the pits.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll go to Stewart now. Obviously, arguably the favourite now for the race due to the fact that everyone is all having mistakes here.
Yeah, I think Apollo's on a pretty decent lap himself. Just in front of Stewart, I believe, on track.
Sector 2. Can't trust this game anymore though, because it just never means it, which is a shame they haven't patched it really. But anyway, round in the final few corners now. Can Stewart get pole from P-Vance? 1:37.5 is going to be, and I have to admit, it's going to be a good effort, but it's not to avail. Second fastest, and he slots perfectly in between.
Still 8
P-Vance
tenths adrift of P-Vance's lap. That's insane. P-Vance isn't surprisingly comfortable in these conditions. We've not really seen it much this year. It's only been Loki or Stewart that've been right up there in the rain, but P-Vance is early in
the track is definitely drying now.
Curly likes his track quite a lot.
Oh, and he nearly loses it on the curb on another hot lap, but he backs out of the lap. The track is definitely drying though. I have to point
I think
out,
the rain stopped. Yeah, the rain has stopped.
The rain has definitely stopped.
I think
Green King goes 5th fastest.
So maybe for the end of Q2, maybe it might be a bit too early for the end of Q2, but it might be dries. Maybe obviously Q3 would be dries.
It's being on the right tyre at the right time. I think the likes of P-Vance and Stewart and Loki probably need to go and pit now and just wade their time and just take it easy, whereas some of these people are leaving the pits on intermediate tyres. The likes of Mr. Tado, who's leaving the pits, a fan favourite, obviously one of the favourites in the league. Obviously, I think he's gained a cult status now in this club. So hopefully he can put on a good show.
It's only 8 tenths of Apollo off of beating in the top 10, so it's not too far away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure P-Bence is going to be safe, as is Stewart, so technically, well, it depends on how quickly the track dries up, but if it stays as Inters, yeah. Oh, P-Bence is, I think he should be safe, but he is risking it a little bit if it does dry up,
Yeah.
but he should be okay.
Probably a good example of that is what the other drivers are doing, and obviously there's no indication that they're doing better. Green King's 2.6 seconds down. I think he's cycling himself up for one more lap. Obviously put enough fuel.
Bonjin chat said, I'm just not as confident as I am at the beginning of the season. Not comfortable with my hardware either, but I do my best to make the most of what I've got on my hands. Yeah, that's what you can do then, Bonj. You just got to keep practicing and just trying out every single week on each track, and eventually you will get there. But I do know what you mean. You sort of just you run out of flow. You're not as confident anymore, and then you just stop. You sort of get into a little dip and you struggle to get out of it. I've been there before in racing. I'm sure a lot of us have. I'm sure a lot of us have. Just got to keep going. What are you saying?
Bring back a Zero, I say. He'll get whatever with that. Anyway, here comes Tado. The only car out other than Zombez, who I believe is... I don't know, they're both on hot laps, but I think Zombez is going to be out of fuel. So we're going to stay on board with Mr. Tado. He's got 8 attempts to find, and with a drying track, there's a possibility he could have a good chance. So here he goes into turn 1. Obviously, very tricky, and he's got a bit wide, but he's taking it very well.
He makes the apex.
And I think, yep, Zombez has run out of fuel.
11 viewers in chat, guys. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello in chat. We'd like to hear from you.
Legend retires. Oh, he's crashed.
Oh, he's crashed
Legend's terminal damaged.
That means...
Oh, that's another one who falls victim to the harsh nature. Oh, that means, regardless, Apollo will be in. It's only Mr. Tado who can knock Legend out now, so everyone is actually safe.
Yep, safe apart from Tado. So,
no. Tado loses
as he bins it.
No,
That's him out.
No.
That's Tado out.
And that is the session over.
Yeah, these guys can all retire now. Oh, Tado, it's heartbreak. Oh, we're crying. Bunge. Butler's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Bond is distraught in chat.
Oh, gutted for Tado, and obviously picked up severe wing damage. So that is the session over. Guys don't need to set laps now because obviously Tado will not improve.
That's the question actually. I know Legend terminal damage, but will he be in for Q3 or will it just not? No. It won't. Okay, so there'll be 9 cars.
He's going to start 10th from the grid.
There'll be 9 cars in for Q3.
How was Tado's Sector 1
He literally matched his previous best.
Did he?
I think he to the thousandth or something like that.
He was very close, so maybe the track wasn't drying enough, but I wouldn't even bother guys going out. You don't need to... Jahutch is fuming.
Yeah, Funky is effing.
Charlie White, he didn't get Charlie White morals, he didn't, and only a few of us will get that, but Charlie White wouldn't have done that. But anyway, here comes Korn. Is he going to set a lap now? I mean, there's no point in them setting a lap. They're just
I don't think they realise, but to be honest, it'd be dry for Q3, so they might as well use these tyres, set in quicker laps, and show us what they can do.
I think he could have possibly snatched. What was his time? So he had to beat Apollo's time to get through.
Yeah,
no, he didn't. Yeah, he did. He had to beat Apollo's time to get through, and Apollo would have been down to 11th. And he was 37.3. And he was 3 temps up actually on Apollo going into Sector 1. He's actually seemed to nail Sector 1 pretty well. He was on course actually until they were pretty tied until the last sector where Apollo pulled it out the bag. But Tado clearly was showing some decent pace, particularly in Sector 1. As Father Korn is 8 temps up.
9 temps up nearly just in Sector 1. Yeah, the track is definitely. If he doesn't bin it, this should be fastest, which will make Korn very happy.
Well, there's a possibility that Tado could have been snuck in there if he didn't mess it up, which is such a shame.
Nicholas in chat says shrimp.
Yeah. Styles also on a hot lap as well. Styles 4 temps up.
Well, a little bit wide going through Spoon there, but gets a good exit. So his second split time should be. Oh, yeah, my Styles crashed it.
Is my Style? Is he TD'd?
Oh no,
I don't think he's TD'd because he would go down further down. Yeah, I was gonna say he'd go down to 9th.
Korn 1.4 seconds up for Korn. just the final sector to go. This will put him second, I think.
Yeah, P-Bence is a mammoth gap, but here he comes to the line. 37.5 to beat, and he gets a 38.3. I thought he was
38.3,
closer
P2.
than that.
Or P3. 3.
Evidently, the track was drying up, so it's going to be interesting to see what it's going to be like for Q3. But there are the times, obviously, major talking point, Alfie and Legend both crash out in the session and will not take any more in qualifying, which is crucial, really, with Nicholas and Chalupa out there. It gives all these drivers a good chance at pole position. P-Bence, Stewart, Korn, Loki, Green King, Style, Ruction, Zombies and Apollo all have a chance. P-Bence is topping the timesheets, though, and looks favourite to snatch pole at the Japanese Grand Prix. Talking about other drivers who could do well, you've got Stewart there and Korn who are very close.
Green King.
It looks like Korn did his time on a drying lap. Yes, very true. Green King, obviously Legend would have been in that position of being 5th, I believe, or even 4th possibly. He could have possibly been maybe, I think it would have been 5th, but obviously with terminal damage at 130R, he will not take further part in starting 10th.
So far this race, we've already had 3 people terminal damage in just qualifying.
Yes.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Look at the track now. It's it's not raining. It's sort of a very slick, glossy, damp track, isn't it? So
Yeah, I was going to say.
definitely at some point in the session, the dries are going to be better. I
You'd,
guarantee it.
You'd like to think.
Nicholas says Stewart Pole, yeah.
Nicholas. I'm thinking P-Bence has got a good chance, though. P-Bence,
Yeah.
he's been in red hot form.
I'm going to say my style.
Gonna get pole.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sticking with P-Bence, Stewart, and P-Bence, Stewart. Well, I don't know. It depends on what setups people are going with. If people are going for wet setups, which I doubt they will if it's a dry race, it'd be interesting to see where priorities lie. Maybe P-Bence is on a wet setup. Who knows? But of course, you'd say Div Cat. You like a good cat, don't you? 5. You love a good cat, don't you? Brando, you know what to do. Just screenshot that. Yep. Thank you. And lovely. Cool.
You know what to do.
You know what to do, Brando. You know what to do.
Hello, Legend. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Facepalm.
Oh dear. Alfie's just there like, what on earth? That's what on earth? No, Nicholas is there like looking at Alfie and Nicola. No, fuck it up.
Now look at all these guys. It's a train going through the bloody hairpin right now. Was it P-Bence, Loki, My Style, and Father Korn? We're still waiting for Apollo and Stewart to leave the pits. It's definitely going to get dry. It's got to. It still looks quite wet though. It's not even a dry line really forming. There you go, Stewart leaving the pits now. It's just Apollo left. We're going to be gunning for a Stewart pole.
I'm going to say, Butler, mate, get your words out. Yeah, I just gave up.
Just defeated.
You're all don't
defeated.
Crash. Don't crash. I wouldn't get the words mixed up. Just saying, Alfie. Anyway, here comes P-Bence through turn 1 now. Probably one of the most demanding tracks to get right on the circuit, other than maybe 130R.
Oh, I'd say sector 1 is probably most challenging on this track than any other track. If I'm honest, it's quite. You have to get the line just right, otherwise you lose so much time. It's unbelievable. Or go out on the grass. This corner right here, that I'm on board with P-Bence right now. You do not want to hit that curb on the inside at all, because it will send your car in a spin, and you are going to struggle to save it. It's very hard to not spin out there. Obviously, Alfie did it in Q2. Yeah, take that, Alfie. 5 characters, Butler nonsense.
Sorry, 5. I didn't know when 5 commentates. All he does is talk about global fucking warming.
5, believe it or not, the Ferris wheel goes anti-clockwise on this track. Just thought I'd let you know. Bringing back old memories. I love how we should be concentrating about people's laps instead of talking about Ferris wheels and global warming.
5 ground speeds immediately gets annihilated.
P-Bence is going to do a 19.4 in the middle. Who's next? My style. My pick for pole, 20.7. Oh Jesus, P-Bence is 1.3 seconds up compared to my style at the moment.
Here comes P-Bence to the line. Seemed a bit shaky coming out of the last corners and sets us 37.3. Here comes my style now to the line. And is nowhere near him. Here comes, I think, Loki now.
Yeah, Loki could be a bit of a threat. Yep, a big threat.
He's backed up. He's backed out of that one.
Oh, Corn Pits.
Apollo invalidates, obviously. Corn Pit. I think Corn did make a mistake at the corner you said. It's very tricky. Oh, Stewart's a bit out of shape.
Oh, Zombies almost smashed it in the pit wall.
Oh dear.
Green King.
Oh dear.
No, Green King Pits. Zombies almost hit the pit wall.
And he's got to go round again now.
Rux next. Ruction. Oh, he's not actually using any RS. I don't think he's on a hot lap. So I think it's Stewart.
That is lit by the looks of it.
13 viewers, guys.
Anyway, we're going to be on board with Stewart. Stewart now is coming towards the end. I think he's the only one really on a significant lap, really. Oh, my style is actually going a bit quicker. But we're going to stick with Stewart now. Obviously, people's favourite for the title.
He needs to make use of this race, really,
well,
with no Chalupa. No Chalupa and Alfie a bit further down, but then again, we have seen Alfie on multiple occasions come from 11th place and win.
Comes to mind.
And win, exactly. Austria comes to mind. Britain. So he's done it before.
Here he comes, Stewart towards the line.
It's not going to be fastest.
37.3 to be. No. It's
P-Bence is in a world of his own at the moment. He's just
ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
But
Apollo next.
My style's backed out of his lap.
Oh, Apollo nearly loses it through 130R.
Here comes Loki towards the line. The Rain Master. He hasn't been really proving his rain skills today. I think he's going to be a bit closer. And he is. He is second fastest at 37.8.
Apollo is a 41.0. Bit of a scruffy lap. I was watching him there. Yeah, it's only 12th Alfie. Oh, okay. Oh, is that because Legend DNF'd? Legend
starting 10th. No, because he's starting 12th because Nicholas, Bonge and Haler are below him. Tado set a lap and Legend set a time and then DNF'd. Alfie didn't set a time. Big brain. Anyway, here comes Ruction. Ruction is 15 seconds up on his personal best, which will put him up there. Oh, a bit shaky going out of that 130R.
It's still.
He has got the.
It's still into conditions. There's still spray coming off of these tyres.
Yeah, there's quite a significant amount of spray. Anyway, here comes Ruction to the line, and he improves to 5th.
Stuart's on another hot lap, by the way. He's 5 tenths up.
7 tenths up. This is looking better from Stewart now.
Purple sector 2.
He's down the gears now. Down to first gear. For this, okay.
Wow.
Gutsy. Anyway, here he comes to the line and he's psyched himself up for another lap because he's not running near the curb and he goes second fastest. He beats Loki to it and this is going to go for another lap. He isn't. He is on 0 ERS. Maybe he's got heavy fuel on. Loki is going to pit and probably have one last launch at it. And Ruction still has the engine glitch as well. Apollo is not up. Father Corn is also on a hot lap. Sector 1 yellow flags, that is P-Bence I believe, on his out lap. He's going for one last go at it, just to solidify his fastest time. He obviously probably thinks he's got more time in there.
I think he does too. He's
so the only man who
really doing
Stewart on a hot lap.
Really doing well. I think he's going to try and go for the 36s.
I think this would be his first pole of the season.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, he's had a pole.
Obviously, he won out in Singapore, so he's on a bit of a roll right now. His P-Bence.
He's really impressed me ever since Austria. He's really picked up the pace. We're on board with Father Corn, the only one who is on a significant hot lap at the moment, so we're going to stay on board with him. Obviously, he made the mistake here in
very tentative.
His first attempt of a lap of 36.4. Down the gears now. Obviously, you can take these corners very fast, but they're very easy to make a mistake. As again, and he invalidates. Never seen an invalidation there. That's impressive. Well done, Father Corn.
Well, he's got time. He's got fuel as well, so he just needs to. He's got time to go around again. He needs to get a lap in, I think. Yeah, Zombies also on an outlap, as well as My Style and P-Bents. P-Bents is about to be going on his lap shortly. I haven't done a hot lap thing yet, so I might do it with P-Bents if it is in the wet.
I mean, it's difficult if it's in the wet. But
No, I know.
I think it's too late now anyway. But if you want to go,
I'll do it for P-Bents. Alright, P-Bents DRS open. Oh, would be DRS open. Then you got a double right-hander. I'm already getting it wrong. Yeah, for the first challenging first sector, especially in the rain, don't want to take too much of that curb. You've got the left, the right, switches to another left. It's really important to get your positioning right through here. P-Bents keeping it in 5th gear, maybe dropping down to 4th, he does, for that right-hander. You've got the long left, you don't want to hit the curb too much on that side, or run too wide. And he's going to keep going left over the hill to the quick right-hander into, follows into another right to round off Degner 1 and Degner 2. What they were called then. This is quite hard here, that corner, that little right hand kink into the braking point for the hairpin, very easy to mess it up, like what Korn did. Then acceleration, of course, crucial for this, going around the long curved back straight, I guess you could say, or one of the straights into Spoon, very fun two section corners, both left-handers, drops down to 4th for the other left, and gets some power as early as you possibly can. And accelerates all the way up to 130R. I don't know if it's flat in the wet or not, I haven't really tried. P-Bents takes it flat. He took it flat.
No, he didn't. He lifted off a little bit.
Then for the final few corners, cut that one a little bit and that one a little bit. You can do that. And you've got to be careful on the exit out here, especially. Luckily there's no bump this year, so you can avoid it. As P-Bents does a 36.4. Here comes Zombies.
Oh, and Stahl has lost it.
Oh, Zombies.
He probably will have time for another lap. Zombies goes 4th fastest. The track is definitely getting drier now. As everyone else will now be Stahl was 7 temps up. Yeah, he lost it at the hairpin. He was 7 temps up at just sector 1.
He's got time unless he's damaged.
I think he has damage.
Oh, he does,
he's got big
that's
damage.
done.
He has heavy.
That's a shame.
Both end plates have gone.
Green King's going.
Is P-Bents on another flyer? We'll have a look.
No, he's not. Zombies is though.
No, he's
Zombies, very impressive. P4.
Yeah. I mean, he's benefiting off a drying track.
Yeah. Yeah.
1.3 seconds they have to find.
My style's going again.
He's probably just trying to get the benefits of a drying track. Maybe the wing damage isn't as bad as it looks, but it's not ideal.
Oh, Korn's lost it. Korn's crashed at Spoon.
That's his outlap. It says
he wasn't going to make it anyway on his hot lap, on that outlap to make it to the line. So Korn is unfortunately not going to get a lap in.
No, so he will start at least 8th. Whether Green King validates or not, we'll have to see. But Green King, so far, he's looking a very impressive lap, it has to be said.
Zombies is getting a toe from P-Bents. No, Zombies is not on a hot lap. I think he's celebrating his mate's pole position by the look of it, looking likely. Loki's 4 temps up in sector 1.
You shouldn't celebrate too soon, boys.
Stewart
it's not over till it's over.
4 temps up in sector 1 as well, so Stewart and Loki.
The track is getting drier. Green King now down
lost it
the
again.
back straight.
Ruction's lost it as well. Apollo has invalidated, so he's not improving.
Ruction's lost it, but here comes Green King round the final corner. He's got a really good chance to be a personal best up on the grid. Here he comes round the final corner. Where is he going to place? I think he's going to place in the top 4. And he does. He snatches 4 from Zombies. A great performance from Zombies. Obviously, Apollo invalidated, and I don't know where he would have set. Next person is Loki. 5 temps up. That won't be enough to snatch pole from P-Bents. P-Bents seems to be in a class of his own by the looks of it. We'll just check what Stewart does. Stewart's only 5 temps up now, so it looks like Loki versus Stewart for the battle for P2. P-Bents is in a class of his own. Here comes Loki.
37-0.
37-0. Here comes Stewart. Stewart's got to find 3 more temps of what he had on his previous lap. Here he comes to the line. What's it going to be for Stewart?
No.
It's not going to be enough. He's a temp slower, and P-Bents takes a very impressive pole.
Dominant, literally. I'm
did
very
retire on
surprised.
track, to be fair, but I think he was quite. He kind of was aware that everyone was around him. To be fair, he was safe. But there it is, the top three in a class of their own, with P-Bents topping the timesheet. Well, P-Bents in a class of his own. Then there's Loki and Stewart, and then there's a massive 1.5 second gap to a best performance in qualifying for Green King in fourth. An exceptional performance from the Mercedes driver. Zombez in P5, another personal best for him. Stahl, a bit of a disappointing P6. Ruction, another great performance in P7. Apollo didn't get a clean lap in on the drying track, will start 8th. And Father Korn, making his return, will start 9th as he could not set a lap in.
It's going to be dry.
Well, that is qualified.
It's going to be dry for the race though, so it's going to be completely different.
This is going to be a good, interesting race, I think. Yeah, I think it's okay if the no driver's behind. He only had Ruction behind him, Raticus, and Ruction was in the S section, and he'd just gone under the bridge, I think. So he had quite a big gap, as there is lovely sunshine here at Japan, and that is not a good thing for Loki.
Completely opposite to the qualifying we just had. But yeah, I think in the dry, I think Stewart's going to have a good chance. Loki might be surprising as well, to be fair. We know P-Bents is strong. So I'm going to say my top three. It's going to be P-Bents, Stewart, Alfie.
I'm going to say Stewart, Alfie, P-Bents. I'm going to say it.
Stewart's going to get the dub, you reckon?
Please, Stewart.
If you're listening, get the dub. We want you to.
I'm begging Stewart to win. Come on, guys.
16 viewers, guys. What do you all think in the chat? Who's going to get the poll? Poll? Who's going to win the race?
Poll.
Yeah. Who's going to get what we already know? What on me?
Other than maybe Brazil, this is probably Stewart's best chance to get a dub.
Can't forget though, Nicholas there. We know he's got the pace. He's starting at the back.
He's down in 15th though. I hate to break it to him. I think if Alfie gets through the pack, I think Nicholas will be just behind him. So I don't think Nicholas. Nicholas is going to have.
Bon says Zai. 5 says Div Bar.
Right,
all good options, guys.
I'm gonna say keep a lookout for Bonge maybe, or Halo. I think Bonge and Halo obviously haven't proven their speed, but obviously there's a good chance they could have done well here. But anyway, on the formation lap, here we go. What tyres is everyone on? Everyone is on the softs. Everyone is on the softs except Loki, Bonge, and Halo started on the hards.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting from Halo. That's very bold.
Cool. I mean, Bonge, I can understand. He's just trying to get clear track and possibly going with an overcut. But the problem is, I don't think the overcut's effective without a safety car. Personally, the undercut has always been the most powerful strategy.
I think someone that's going to lose out quite a lot at the start already in the first few laps is going to be Loki. I'm going to say to it, but he on the mediums, the next 10 cars behind him are all on the softs. And I think what's the gap difference between the softs and the mediums around here? It's a good 7, 8 tenths, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's quite significant.
I don't know how long they can go, but considering it's 27 laps, it's usually the traditional
softs,
lap 10, 11.
Mediums can go a good 16, 17 laps, and then softs can go a good 11, 12. So it's quite a simple one stop.
There it is. The game is suggesting soft hards.
It's not soft hard.
Maybe.
It's not. I'm interested about what Halo's going to do. I'm quite interested in that. Starting on the on the hards is not what I expected.
We'll have to see. I don't think soft hard is the right strategy. Soft medium probably is, but you never know. But P-Bents will be leading the grid away. Obviously, he has led races.
This is his first pole.
Yeah. It is his first pole, but this will be the first time that he will be in that P1 slot on the grid. Interesting. Stewart has got to get past Loki off the start. It's crucial for Stewart to get a good start and get past Loki, because this is Stewart's best chance at a victory. I know he's pretty strong at this track.
But you got to
have to see.
You got to look at all the big gunners at the back. So Alfie, Bonge, Halo, and Nicholas all have shown pace this year. Obviously,
yeah, very true.
Obviously, Bonge, Alfie, and Nicholas are all race winners. Halo's had a few podiums himself, so it's going to be interesting how they make their way up through the grid. Japan's not exactly an easy place to overtake.
Not really.
But
Only one DRS section, but if you get a good run out of Spoon down into 130i, you've always got a chance. Anyway, we're looking at the inside of P. Bence's car at the moment. As they're lining up on the grid, just waiting for the last few the game to sort itself out. I'm just going to take the timing screens off because, you know,
yeah,
with this game the timing screens are pretty much pointless. And here we go, we've got some lights now. 4 lights, 5 lights. They were all for a line, but lights out, and away we go. And it looks like Loki hasn't had the best of starts. Stewart already tucks in behind him, but Stewart hasn't had the best of starts. Loki has seemed to hold position, but P. Benz has had the best start of everyone. Green King is looking up the inside of Zombies up into 4th place. As we've already got yellow flags in Sector 1, it is My Style in the hat, who started P5, has lost it at Turn 1.
Green King and Zombies are still going side by side through the S's. Green King gets spots up just in front of him. Apollo makes up a few places on start as well. Alfie's all the way up to P9.
Nicholas is up to 11th.
Alfie's off. Alfie's off.
Has he?
Oh,
Alfie's lost it. Crucially.
Alfie.
Oh, there's a big crash. Oh, Zombies and Green King collided. Zombies has got to be careful with how he rejoins the track as long as he doesn't collide with anyone. I think he is fine, but at the front it is still P-Vents leading from Halo, but Green King and Apollo are now side by side into the hairpin, and they're going to be coming through this flat right, and Apollo's lost it. Apollo has smashed it completely, and he's collided with Ruction.
Apollo.
He's collided with Ruction. I think did Ruction pick up much damage there? I know Ruction hit him. Apollo didn't actually pick up damage, and there's a safety car deployed.
I'm not surprised. That was a huge crash for Apollo.
Him and Green King were going side by side into that. Has Ruction picked up damage?
No. I don't think there's no visible damage, but surely.
Yeah, that was a huge. I was on board with Apollo, and he hit the wall and rebounded. That must have been very frightening for Ruction. Obviously seeing that, but this is benefit. Halo's up to 9th. Has Alfie got damage?
Alfie does
I don't think he has.
I don't think anyone got damage on that lap, at least visible damage, even My Style at
Turn 1.
Well,
apart from Apollo to his pride, but wow,
yeah.
What a start for everyone. Obviously, huge accident as Ruction is down to 7, 8. Oh,
no one hitting? No one hits, interestingly. So no one got wing damage.
1 second, the game is just going to sort itself out. Bear with us. Did Style pick up damage? Obviously not, but
no.
Safety. Chat is very dead at the moment. No one talking about that monster smash
That
for
was
Apollo.
Big crash.
First lap, and there was already carnage. I think it was just. I think Apollo just got on the. I don't know. I think he was going for a gap that wasn't really there, and he collided with Green King.
Unfortunately for Apollo, lap 1 crash. Not what he wanted.
I need to see that again, as it was ambitious move driving. But anyway, the timing scooter will sort himself out now. Obviously, Tado's in P1. Get it? Oh.
Brief second.
Yeah, unlucky Apollo. I don't know if you're in chat, but it was an unlucky drive. I think you were just too. He saw a gap. He did see a gap. We all know what it's like to see a gap at this track. Ask Ayrton Senna. But best. We'll have a look as there's been a collision with Stewart and Green King.
Green King, a penalty. Stewart didn't get one. I think Green King ran into the back of Stewart.
He did see a gap. I'm just going to check who is the biggest riser in this, and it is.
It's going to be Nicholas.
It is Nicholas. Started 15th and he's up to 8th. This is Nicholas's best chance at a victory since I think probably Italy.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a drought with Nicholas so far, but I'm not going to say he's looking too good at the moment. It's still an 8th. He's still got 7 cars in front of him.
Tado gets a and Tado and Stahl both pick up penalties for colliding with each other.
Interesting.
Both of them pick up penalties.
I mean, what I'd do right now is if I was these guys, I would pit and put on mediums or hards, just give it that 5-second penalty.
Possibly hards. I'd say Tado should probably pit for the hards. Style maybe should pit for the hards as well, just to clear that penalty off.
Yeah.
Can't be arsed, says Apollo. Unlucky Apollo. We only saw it from your on board, I'm afraid, so we couldn't see what actually happened initially. I just saw you spin, and luckily you didn't collect Ruction.
Absolutely sent to oblivion by Ruction.
Yeah, real shame, but that's the way it is. As Style does pit.
He does, yeah. I wonder what tyres he's going to put on. Probably the hards, I'd imagine.
I'd like to say the hards to the end, which isn't a bad strategy, to be fair.
No, they can make it. 24 laps is quite doable for him.
Here we go. We're going to see what he puts on, and he serves his stop-go.
Can't actually see. I think it's mediums.
And he is changing his front wing, so he did pick up wing damage.
Hards.
So it's yeah, hards and a change of front wing.
Yeah, probably
he's
the best
obviously-
time to do it. So
He's got a good chance of victory now. He doesn't need to pit. I don't know if the hards can go to the end
they
though.
can. 24 laps, they
go
can.
to the end.
Yeah.
He's just got to keep his rhythm. He will have track position, obviously. Because obviously, well, not track position, but he will have like
Yep.
probably track position if he keeps behind once all these guys pit around lap 10. And it's not the easiest place to overtake Japan, but we'll have to see. Obviously, there are the grid risers. Legends up to 6th as well. A lot of risers, obviously, benefiting from the downfall of Zombies, Apollo, and Style.
Green
Alfie,
King,
very lucky.
Green King's in chat. Sorry, Green King. Apollos is in chat. Green King didn't leave me room on the exit off the hairpin. Gained 5 positions on lap 1. Oh well, I'm going to try my best next week. Yeah, that sucks.
That's a good
Apollo.
attitude. If you got the incident, you've got your right to record it if you felt like it was a penalty deserving incident. From what we saw at the moment, we aren't too sure yet. We just need to review it. From what we saw, it just seemed a bit like a. I wouldn't say it was anyone's fault really. It was just unfortunate coming together. Obviously, if you didn't leave room in the hairpin, we didn't see that. We just saw the exit on the straight now. But obviously, P-Bent's still leading. I'm impressed with Loki. Got a very good start actually and held P2.
Stuart did not let the gain he needed to. Now P-Bent's.
Safety car is.
He's
in
never
that.
led from a safety car before, so I wonder if he knows to give it enough room.
I think it's been discussed enough in the chat that we would know. We've had incidents at Belgium, Singapore. We'd like to think so anyway. Has he left a big enough gap? He's probably going to.
Right, safety car's already gone
close.
in, so he should be alright now.
It hasn't. Well, he should be able to go now. He can hit the
He's
gas
gone,
if he
he's
wants
gone.
to. And he goes. We are back racing here at Japan.
Loki gets a good
And it
launch
looks like-
actually. Loki does it quite well.
And here we go, back racing. We're looking further down the field. It looks like a lot of drivers are very close together. Green King has actually got a really good slipstream on Stewart, but all hold position as we go through this
Look at
beautiful
that.
angle.
I love that camera angle through turn 1 and 2.
Oh, look at that.
It's
It
so
is amazing.
nice. The one round the outside, we're sort of sitting by the barrier and you can just see them going, taking the 2 right-handers.
I think Loki has got a bit of a train behind him actually, because P-Bent's has already pulled an 8-10 gap, and then there is the soft train of people, because if you look at the delta, it is a ridiculous. As a Legend has a look at Ruction there. Obviously these two have got infamous battles
Zombies
between them.
almost looks like a Halo. Halo's hanging on quite well on the hards. He's sustained the DRS.
He's got to be he's in it for the long run, is Halo. It could work out for him.
Oh,
He's a big
Zombies
star,
right.
isn't he?
Alfie down the inside of Apollo doesn't make it work. Apollo.
Oh, Zombies is in the
Zombies.
wall. Oh, he's rejoined the track, and I bet that gave Bond a scare.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think he got damaged, did Zombies from that, maybe? He did.
Smashed
No, he
into
didn't.
The artificial barrier. Oh, he's gone very wide. He's got to be careful. He's collect Tado.
Legend on back of Ruction.
Yeah. Is he going to have a look into 130?
He might, he is.
He's thinking about it. No, he thinks not of it. He's got to be careful. He's using overtake through 130R. That is
ballsy.
bold, and he has a look down into the chicane. He's going to hang it around the outside. I wish the game would give
Good
a better
move
camera
from
angle than this,
Legend.
but Legend looks like he's got the move done, and he is up to P5 as Alfie. Oh dear.
Nicholas.
As it looks like Alfie is up
Nicholas
to.
spun
Oh,
it.
Nicholas has lost it. No, Nicholas, and Alfie is up to 7th already. He's got past Fathercorn and Halo. I'm assuming Nicholas has made a mistake and is collecting Fathercorn and Halo, because Alfie was down in 10th and now he's up to 7th already.
Yeah, I don't think any of them got damaged
As
though.
Fathercorn is all
Green
over
King.
the place. He's in the gravel.
Green King's off.
Green King's in the gravel, as is Fathercorn.
They're both taking the different route, the rallycross route.
The rallycross route as
Time.
Green King's picked up a penalty.
Wow,
That's harsh.
That'll be removed.
That's harsh.
That'll be removed.
That'll be removed.
If he finishes, that'll be
And,
removed.
Yeah,
Tado's
that's
off.
Fine. Tado's off. Tado's gone as well. He's just trying to get out of the way. Yep. So Tado has gone, and that means Alfie is up to 6th now. Alfie has a really good chance of victory. He can already see Stewart as he dives it up the inside of Ruction. Ruction's gone way too deep into that corner, and Alfie didn't really give the space to Ruction there.
Oh, wheel banging going down the
Who's going to use overtake? Ruction's
straight.
using overtake. Here they go into Spoon.
Oh, Rux has completely missed it.
Ruction's missed his braking point completely.
He's gonna get a good run though, I think.
Yeah, he will ironically get a very good run on Alfie. Yes, he does. He has got a brilliant run off him. He is in the slipstream. Alfie is using his overtake. I'm surprised Ruction didn't as well. Stewart is all over the back of Loki as well, as they will have DRS. Is Ruction going to have a look on the inside of Alfie? He has a think about it. I think this is a bit demoralising for P-Benz, Loki and Stewart. Alfie has got a bit lucky.
Here comes Stewart on Loki. No.
Stewart has got it. Stewart
both
has got to
getting
get
overtake.
past Loki soon. None of them. They will have DRS on the next lap.
Alfie's already up to 5th.
Loki. Yeah. Loki is. Well, he's benefited from a lot of people. Oh.
Green King in the pits
spending
and retires.
Oh no. Don't retire that early, man.
You
Come
could have carried on. I wouldn't
Safety
have done that.
car,
Green King.
man. With the high attrition, it's stupid. You don't. If it's lap 22, I'd understand, but not lap 6.
Oh, Green King.
I guess you gotta do what you gotta. You gotta do what you gotta do, but he's just thrown in the towel too early.
After his best qualifying, he then retires off the race on lap 6. A bit too early, I'd say. No matter what happened, he still could have made something of it. I reckon, even if there was a safety car.
Yeah, exactly.
And that 10-second would have been removed. So
the 10-second would have been removed. So Stewart is all over the back of Loki, by the way. He has got to get past Loki.
he is.
ASAP.
Loki, to be fair to
P-Ben-
him,
He's holding his own.
He's not too far away from P-Vents. But he will
No,
not.
he's holding his own.
He's not going to get DRS.
Alfie's had an excellent launch at Legend going into
Do it.
defend.
Do it 130
Legend is
no?
just given Legend. No, but Alfie tries it in 130R. I don't know why Legend didn't really put up a good fight, to be fair, because
Stewart should be able to get through here on the start, on the front straight.
he's
He's
going to
got
have to, because
DRS.
Alfie is just behind him, and Legend, like I said, Legend should have defended better, because now he's not going to have a good enough launch.
Here comes Stewart.
Here comes Stewart. Finally, he gets past Loki. And if I was Loki, I'd defend my place with Alfie if he really wants to, like he has with Stewart. As Halo gets past Ruction, by the way, but Ruction sends it.
Oh, he spins.
Ruction's round.
Bond avoids it. Good job from Bond. And
Bond's had a few
Ruction's going to
scares
fall
this
down
race.
to P10. Oh, lags a little bit there for Corn. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Ruction's
hello.
lagging
Ooh,
a little bit,
careful,
and he spins again.
Right.
Oh, and Styles smashes into Rux. Okay, Styles got no front wing.
Whose fault was that?
That was. I mean,
didn't
Rux
see.
had spun. It was already mid-spinning, so
So just unfortunately
sort of a
collecting,
racing
we'll have to
incident
see.
there. But that's not good for Style.
Mr. Taddo has smashed it into the wall. Mr. Taddo has lost it at the S section. Will we have another safety car?
Zombez makes a mistake. Nicholas goes past him for P8.
Doesn't look like we'll have another safety car.
No.
No safety car. And now Stewart has got to get a charge on. I think Alfie is in a good chance for a comeback here. But he's been quite lucky with people making mistakes in front of him rather than him having to get past them.
Lap 7 and 3 DNFs already. So that's
Japan for
That's
you.
Japan for you, exactly. As My Style and Ruction should be heading into the pits this lap with damage. Especially My Style.
I think P-Benz was actually holding. Yeah, and Alfie says the fastest lap of the race. I think P-Benz was just holding his ERS and now he's on a charge. Because as soon as Stewart's got past Loki, P-Benz has now absolutely sent it. Which isn't necessarily. I mean, it saves energy, but it isn't necessarily the wisest thing to do when you've got Alfie on a charge behind you. You want to get a bigger gap to Alfie as you can, not.
Bond on Halo as well.
He was once, unless, as Marstal has been given to, I think he's going to retire as well in the pit lane. Obviously on the hards, I can see this one being a bit more justified, but he did speed into the pit lane. And he doesn't seem to have retired yet.
I appreciate that, My Style. That is the spirit.
As Alfie does get past Loki into the hairpin, but Loki has a better exit coming out of the hairpin.
Side by side.
That's what Yellow Flags are set to do. It is Zombies. Hopefully these two don't collide. Oh my god, Alfie did really cut.
Yeah, he chops
cut
across
him
the
up
front
a bit.
of Loki there.
He's lucky Loki didn't tap him there, but I think Loki is playing the long game now. Loki's got a good chance at a result here, but now how demoralising is it for Stewart and P-Benz to see Alfie in P3 after only 8 laps? Maybe Loki can have a good launch at Alfie, because he's got a good, excellent run on him actually going into the chicane. He thinks not of it.
Yeah, he doesn't really defend either, so I think he realised like he wasn't going to go for it. Stewart's been falling away from P-Benz, so...
Is Loki going to go for an overtake on Alfie? No, he doesn't. He just chooses not to. I think he would have been close enough if he used his overtake actually, which he decides not to, which I think, you know, keep your rivals behind you for as long as possible. Because now obviously Alfie is
say Alfie now is just getting easy passes on people, and he's not losing that much time because no one's battling
Oh,
him.
Halo makes a mistake in the S's.
He
Bond
still
could
held
have
on though.
capitalised then, but he backed out quite sensibly, to be fair, to avoid an accident as Zombies pits.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, Halo.
Oh,
Jesus, they both had
he
moments there.
fight the wheel. Oh, I don't think Bond would. Yeah, I don't think Bond would have a lunch.
Halo
there,
is on
but
the hard
Alfie-
as well, so Halo is looking to
Yeah.
go into a good lap 20. And at the end, on them softs, he's going to be absolutely rapid. Minding
got the
these guys,
chance.
they both started last row of the grid, so
And there it is. Alfie is catching Stewart now.
yeah, I think Bond just gets past Halo here. He's being held up a little bit. Bond has already got the fuel light on, so he's underfueled his car. Interestingly. Yeah,
Evans have started to pull away from Stewart.
here comes Bond on Halo. 130 yards, can get the job done before that. Halo backs out, I think he does, yeah. Bond's just going to slip through, easy as you like.
I think people are sleeping on how well Bond's going to do, actually. I know the undercut's going to prove pretty vital to the... Oh, as he nearly loses the rear coming out of the bump.
Well, Bond needs to catch up to Loki, because in theory he is racing Loki now.
As
both mediums.
Alfie is now battling Stewart.
Stewart.
Alfie and Stewart are side by side.
Oh,
And Alfie gets the
Stewart
move
really
done.
messed up that.
Stewart really did make quite a crucial error there. I think Alfie is on a charge. For someone who says this really isn't a track he does well at, I think he's just... I don't think we should listen to whatever Alfie says now.
Ever again. No, I can do that.
Nope.
I can do that.
Yeah,
Loki looking
as
good though, to
usual.
be fair. He is going to be on the softs at the end. He will be quick. So,
Yeah.
Loki's looking quite good. That, as it stands, obviously, he needs to not... Obviously, he needs to not spin or crash or whatever he does or get any penalties.
Halo's got
'cause-
past Bonge again, by the way.
Oh, he got...
But Bonge is going to have a go around the hairpin.
Oh,
He's gone very
Bond
deep.
double locks up. Nicholas is involved now.
Nicholas just says, thank you very much. I'll take that P7. Stahl does set the fastest lap of the race. Stahl is still in with a chance as long as it's a safety car, and that's what you've got to look for.
Exactly.
You've got to think, with the amount of high attrition there is, if people are making mistakes like yourself, you've got to look for high attrition.
It's why you should never retire that early, or so super early, because at the end of the day, unless it's the last like 3 or 4 laps, there's no point retiring. You don't know what could happen. There's been many a times where I've come from miles back, almost a lap down before, to getting a podium, just on getting like no
Okay.
penalties or just keeping myself
Look
to
at
myself.
Singapore.
Exactly, Singapore, for example, that was a notable race. But yeah, it's just a shame. People they get frustrated and they leave. And although it's completely understandable, it's not the way to go. It's he gets over the bad habit as Nicholas dives it down the inside in turn 1. Halo gives him room.
Does he?
Nicholas almost spins it then as Bond is going to go round. Nicholas is outside.
Yeah, Bonge now goes, thank you very much, I'll take that place. Oh, Alfie's all...
Nicholas is-
Nicholas is
yeah.
a bit slide boy.
Rux is in the bits and gets 5-second penalty for doing that.
Not much. And
Alfie is wow.
he's terrorising that gap. on
Yeah, me and
P-Beds.
you exactly the same fault.
Unless P-Bed's made a mistake, but looking at the gap he has to Stewart, it doesn't look like he's really...
Well, I think we're going to see Stewart in this lap. I think because it is time for the soft, slightly burst jump on the mediums now. Loki is still there, only 1.65 seconds away from Stewart.
P-Bed's has still got the advantage, but Alfie is chasing him. I think Stewart
Obviously,
shouldn't pit now, unless...
later-
Are they going are they going medium? Are they going soft medium? 'Cause unless they
Yeah,
haven't noticed
soft
that the
medium.
soft mediums can go to the
He
end.
gets pits.
Well,
Alfie pits. There you go. This lap, I
Alfie
said it would be.
pits.
Stewart should
Stewart
pit
pits.
as well. Yeah. Loki's going to take the T1. Legend pits. No, they're all pitting.
Bonge get past Halo now. And
He does. Yeah. Nicholas
that's
is right
DRS.
there. These three having a nice battle.
On go the mediums. Alfie puts on the
Oh, here
hards.
comes Nicholas
No,
with the
no, no,
absolute
no, no.
run on Halo. He gets it done down the inside, turn 1, and makes it stick this time. Yeah, we should see Nicholas and Korn pitting this lap, I believe. And then we'll see Loki, Bonge pitting on around lap 5th. No. Yeah, around lap 16, 15, 16. And then Halo, if he really stretches them out, around lap between 18 to 20.
See, I just don't think the smart decision of going on the mediums is good because yes, you're in the clear track, but you're going to get undercut to crap now from the soft runners.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go through all the trap position. Like, trap position, unfortunately in this game, because the cars are so wide, trap position is vital and you can't go on these ridiculous strategies. The only way that the medium runners are going to benefit off this is if they get a safety car or a VSC to slow the fast runners down. It's the only way, because unfortunately Japan isn't the best track to overtake at, so you're stuck behind. The only reason why Alfie's really got so far up the field is because people have made mistakes in front of him, not necessarily him getting past them. Which
He's
is why
made a few
been able
moves, to be fair to him. He has gotten past a couple of people.
Yes, but when he was down in 11th and he made a mistake and he's up to 2nd, he's benefited from the likes of Green King, Apollo, My Style, all making mistakes. That's what you've got to look at. But anyway, Nicholas doesn't pit.
Corn pits. Doesn't speed. Good job there, Corn. He should filter out in P10. He's looking good for points corners, as it stands. Yeah, Nicholas is soft, so probably falling a little bit off the cliff now. It's got 13 laps on the soft. That's pretty good. Yeah, Alfie's actually caught up to P-Vents in these pit stop phases as well a little bit, down to 1.5 seconds.
I think he's actually just been catching up on track, to be honest, because I've been looking at the Delta and he's just seems to be so rapid around especially in the first sector. Like, look at that, he's gained, since I've been watching it, he's gained 4 tenths in the first sector.
Alfie, once again, showing pace and showing why at the moment he's number 1 in the championship. Obviously it's a shame not to see Chalupa here, but hopefully he can make it for the rest of the season and bring a big fight to Alfie.
I have a feeling P-Vents, by the way, I've been on board with P-Vents most of this way because I want to see the gap. I think he's feeling the pressure because he's making quite a few mistakes.
He's got more
Roxon's
ERS.
lost it!
Oh,
Is there a VSC? Because if that's the case, that really benefits the front runners.
no.
Oh, I saw that
Nicholas in the
sector
pits.
change, and Ruction's all over the place. He's spun again. He's absolutely cooked his tyres.
He's going to get lapped soon. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruction's tyres are absolutely cooked. And Nicholas is going to get undercut.
Bond as well, actually. I have been noticing this. Bond he's got a penalty, I know, but he's actually been catching Loki.
Nicholas does exit in clear track, but he's quite a significant gap away, and this is where the undercut comes. The undercut's just powerful on every track, really. Especially if the tracks are always just one stops.
Yeah, unfortunately, modern day F1, it always is normally a one-stop around every track. Back in the 2010, 2012, 2011, 2012 seasons, you're getting like 3 or 4 pit stops a race just to get through it.
Yeah, the main reason is due to the fact that there's 3 tyre compounds.
Yeah.
And when I first saw it, I thought, oh my god, this is going to make races so interesting. It just makes every race a one-stop. I think there's only 2 tracks where the 2-stop is the faster option, and that's Vietnam and I think Abu Dhabi.
Really?
The only redeeming factor of Abu Dhabi is that it is a 2-stop. I mean, the 1-stop is viable, but
It's just not as quick.
no. Again, and Alfie is all over the
Yeah,
place.
top 3 still haven't pitted.
I think Alfie is probably going to obtain the lead now.
P-Vents is
although
not
he's
in overtake.
Yeah, I don't get
Defends.
why they do this. He defends, but what are you expecting?
Wow.
You're not using overtake.
Alfie around the outside in turn 1. Very good move. He just leaves him for dust, unfortunately. Hopefully P-Vents can stay with him.
I don't think he will. I know he's got loads of overtake, but that lack of usage of overtake on the straight has cost him dearly, really.
Bond just got that gap down to a second. Bond just gained that gap down to another second. 2.7 now. I think Loki needs to pit, I think.
Apparently
Mexico
Mexico
and
and Canada too are also 2-stop viable. I didn't know that. Mind you, I've done very little at Mexico, and as you can see, this is the problem. If you give Alfie clear track, he's going to pounce on it, and that's why you've got to battle him, because if you just let him by because he's faster and you think you can get him with the DRS, you're not going to.
You need to
He's too
foster him.
fast. If you're gonna, you can't just like P-Benz has cost himself there from not using overtake. He just stood there, he defended but didn't use overtake, and it's cost him. And look, he's going to try and keep up with Alfie now, but this is the mistake he's made. He's going to catch up with him here, but he's not anywhere near enough to catch him on the DRS straight.
Loki needs to
And
pit.
now he's probably I've said that he's probably going to eat my words.
Loki doesn't pit, Bonge doesn't pit, Halo probably won't pit. Nope. These guys in the mediums kind of should have pitted that lap. P-Benz is got the DRS to Alfie.
I don't think he's going to be close enough. No,
right.
not using overtake either.
Alfie does a 29.9.
I think this is probably the end of C. Unless Alfie does make a mistake or a safety car comes out, I cannot see any way that Halo keeps up with Alfie. I've got to be honest.
Nicholas has been catching Legend quite a bit, if I'm honest. He came out the pits and he was
Nicholas
5
was
seconds back, and he's only 1.5 now.
Nicholas was in really good shape to actually get the victory.
He was, and then whatever happened
Made a
at the
mistake.
whatever happened at the final few corners, it completely ruined his race because he fell down the grid, got stuck in traffic, and now he's down back here in P8. Obviously, he'll gain a few positions when he might gain a few positions when the likes of Halo and Bonge and Loki pit, but at the moment he's fighting for quite low points here with Legend up ahead for P7.
I'm just keeping with this actually. I think P-Benz might have turned the gas on. Maybe he has got a scrap that we don't know because he's still within 8 tenths now and he's probably going to use overtake. Well, this is odd. This is peculiar now. It looks like P-Benz might have making a comeback here.
Come on, Loki, pit.
This'll...
Pit, Loki. Needs to, and he does. Good. Bonge. Oh no, he loses it. Bonge loses it.
Oh dear.
He tried to go in the pits and he turned too late, and the rear of the car did not like it. It just slid him out. So Bonge was unfortunately just threw his race away by that late move. I think Nicholas is going to get past Legend here.
Unless
Where's Loki going
P-Benz
to
is
come
just
out?
trying to keep us close. Sometimes.
Oh,
Nicholas.
just behind. It's not good.
And this is my point. And this is my point of saying that the overcut never really works because as much as Loki is on fresh rubber, he's got to get past both of them. And this is where track position is just so vital in every track pretty much. Apart from maybe Mexico or where you've got that mammoth straight, track position is so vital. And maybe Baku, but P-Benz is still all over the back of Alfie by the way. He hasn't really...
No. They both
Lost
catch up
sight
to
of
Halo,
Alfie.
so that's going to help P-Benz if they do indeed battle. Halo should be pitting in a few laps, to
I
be
don't know
fair
why
to
he's
him.
gone on the mediums then.
Bonge just threw his own race away, unfortunately, right there, which is really sad to see, because he was running really well. Loki's going to be quick. He's got pretty much 100%, well, 89% ERS, but
I
he's...
think he's got a good chance of getting fifth, Loki, but I feel like if he did the normal strategy like everyone else, I think he could have been on course for victory. P-Benz...
Yeah, he's not letting
Oh.
go of Alfie. Is Halo going to pit? Halo pits.
I have to admit, I think Halo's got... P-Benz has got a pretty good chance of overtaking Alfie and retaining the lead. Here he goes.
There you go.
Alfie is in overtake, and P-Benz is not using his overtake. He's sticking behind him, which is what I don't get. You had overtake to get past
You
him.
need to
and now
slow
you've
him down,
lost
exactly.
yourself. You're not... This is what I don't get with, like...
Nicholas
If you've got
on
a
Legend.
chance, like...
And Nicholas, Legend doesn't even defend. Nicholas just flies right through, and he's now got Loki for company back there. As Halo rejoins in 7th. Bonge is going to rejoin behind Korn, I think. Yep, Korn's going to take 8th place.
I think P-Benz has now flustered himself because he has now lost a lot of ground to Alfie, and this is my point. You can't wait your opportunities. You've got to take your opportunities when they come, and P-Benz had a golden opportunity to get back past Alfie, and he hasn't taken it. I think maybe he had that one chance. It's like, I think it was one race in 2012 where Kimi Raikkonen had the chance to go at Vettel for the win and then never had a chance again. He didn't get that chance to pounce on again, and that is where you can't bank on taking and having another chance. It's a risky way to keep in the game because I don't think P-Benz is going to have a launch in this time, but I could be wrong.
9 laps
But I
left, it's
feel
gone
like-
very quick.
Yeah, it's gone very quick this race. Obviously,
Yeah. There's been battles.
just feel
There's
like-
been battles here and there. There's always been something going on. As Loki now is all over the back of Legend. Legend's just
Nicholas
dropped
is
like
absolutely flown away.
yeah.
by the
Legend's
way.
dropped like a stone. As Loki's gonna look down the inside into the final
No,
six to last corner. He doesn't.
He thinks I'm going to save for DRS as P-Benz is all behind the back of Alfie. He's got to take his
Yeah,
opportunity.
Loki's got
now.
this easily.
He can't mess around.
Here goes Loki.
There he goes. Loki
Yeah.
is up to Phil. I think maybe he can get Nicholas, but Nicholas is a formidable talent in the dry.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to be tough for Loki. He is obviously on the faster tyre, but Nicholas probably has the more natural ability behind the wheel to just keep those mediums ahead of it, the AlphaTauri driver. Still keep it ahead of this P-Bed situation. Obviously, have to be impressed with the lack of warnings being applied. I mean, there's not many, well, there is a few places to get warnings, but the top 7 have not picked up a penalty yet.
No. And I've checked the top 3 already. None of them have a warning. So really good driving for the top 3. Nicholas is.
Oh,
Nicholas.
Nicholas has spun!
Speaking of Nicholas, he spins it just as I said his name.
And that means Loki will be up to 4th now.
Yep.
And Bond has lost it.
Yep.
And Style has lost it.
Oh, both the houses having a miserable time. Style has got wing damage.
Bonge has
None.
crap knackered tyres probably. Anyway, can Loki make a charge on Stewart?
Halo's going to be making a charge on Nicholas. I think Nicholas has got damage. Nicholas has got a completely missing right hand side of his wings, and Halo's going to easily go up into 6th right now. From last place, Nicholas is going to fall out of the top 10, I believe. Yeah, he's going to fall behind Zombies, if I'm correct.
P-Benz is just waiting for that opportunity.
He's waiting for the last lap.
He had that opportunity in his grasp. He's got to be careful here. He doesn't make a mistake. Like he could have kept out. He could keep Alpha behind him, but he's choosing not to. Like if you keep Alpha behind him, Alfie might make a mistake just trying to get past as Nicholas does pit. Softs to the end for Nicholas.
Yep.
He will come out just behind Zombie, so I think he'll
He's
stay
going
in
to go
10th.
the fastest lap, I reckon. He will get points because there is a significant gap from behind Zombies to My Style and Ruction. My Style's obviously also got a broken front wing. But yeah, he's going to come out P10 at the moment, but he is going to be on fresh softs. P-Benz is out the DRS.
He usually he's using a lot of ERS to keep with him. You should have used that ERS to get ahead, not
He needs
keep
to,
with him.
he needs to get ahead.
And this is
he
my
can't-
point of saying that
Can't follow Alfie.
sorry,
You need to be ahead of him to slow him down, otherwise he will just waltz away. He's done it so many races now. These guys need to know.
he just needs to keep, as long as he keeps within DRS range, which I think he will for this one, he's got to seize this opportunity now because time is running out for P-Benz. Because it will be a bit of a squandered opportunity for the Alfa Romeo driver. He's really had the chance. He has had the opportunity to get past Alfie, and he hasn't taken it by not using his ERS. And and the problem is now the fact that he has used a lot of ERS to keep with Alfie. Like I say, he could have used that ERS to get past Alfie, and he hasn't used it. He's got to have a good sector now as Halo does set the fastest lap of the race. Loki isn't in particularly really catching Stewart, but there's a possibility of a Loki podium, so people in chat will be very happy to see that.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be looking at that. I think Loki is catching Stewart. He's got 6 laps to close that gap down, so it will be close at the end. Like, look at it, he's already gained almost half a second in just sector 1.
I think Stewart's made a mistake though, because the gap between P-Benz and Stewart has gone up quite significantly.
I don't think Stewart's pushing too hard, if I'm honest.
He'll be adding that. This will be his 3rd consecutive podium, and I think this will be his 9th for the season. Shame it hasn't been on that top step yet. Mr. Consistency, we call Stewart.
Exactly. You've still got Loki for company behind though. He's not too far away.
He hasn't done the deed yet, and this is the closest I actually have seen P-Benz to Alfie now. This is his best chance now. He's within 6/10. He's usually been about 9 a second ahead. He's got to have a really good exit out of the chicane to have a chance of taking the lead.
He's not going to go for it. He won't go. He's going to try and sit behind. I know what his game is. He's going to try and wait for the last few laps and then go. But see, look, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, it's not a bright decision because Alfie's using ERS to just zoom away. Like Alfie, what you're doing here is literally just giving Alfie a free chance at saving ERS to keep ahead of you. Like you've got to put pressure on Alfie. You've got to tiptoe.
flag.
As Bonge has made another mistake. Oh dear. That's
Oh wow, it's on a
out of
big
spoon.
crash next to the spoon. And Zombez and
Amazing.
Nicholas are going to go through. Yeah, missing his front wing too. Hassan not having a good day.
I mean, maybe Pivens has got that confidence to say, yes, I can keep up. I can keep with Alfie. It's a risky strategy, but it shows he has confidence in himself. Whether that confidence will be proven right, who knows? But I don't think Loki is going to catch Stewart. I'm just looking at the time delta. I just think Stewart is doing well enough to keep him behind.
Yellow flag,
And
Rux.
Ruction has lost it. Is that a DNF? No. Surprised there's been no
Also,
virtual
Stoon,
safety
careful
car.
of Rux of Alfie and
He
Pivens.
should
Yeah, he
be
gets out the
alright.
way.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a virtual safety car with all the damage
I
that's been
know.
caused.
Almost
Rux,
every
just let
lap with
Pivens by, mate.
Almost every lap there's been a yellow flag. Bonge pits for new front wing. He should retain 10th, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Helped by Rux spinning that lap. Pivens is close. He's going to do it. No, he doesn't.
Nope.
He's waiting for the last few laps. I know he is. And then he's going to
I
bounce.
don't personally. I don't think it's the right strategy. I think he needs to just get in front and just because at the end of the day, once you get in front of it, you can park your car on the apex and possibly
Exactly.
force Alfie into a mistake. Alfie's quite content doing this. This is the thing. This is Alfie's strong point. He's got clear track, and he's just got to worry about making sure that he keeps the ERS on Pivens. Whereas if he's behind, it's like Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's probably not his best when he's behind driving. I say that he's had some amazing races, but he's actually like. It's like the Mercedes last year. It was good in front, but when it's behind, it really did struggle. And this is what Alfie had. Like, this is what Pivens should be doing. He should be putting Alfie under a bit of pressure and saying, look, I'm going to get past you here. You've got to get past me. I want to do it my way. But no, he's playing Alfie's pace. But maybe that will work, but who knows? I can talk out my arse, but I feel like that Alfie is more like... He's doing it the hard way. Put it this way, Taz. He's doing it the hard way.
Yeah. Nicholas got past Zombez as well whilst you were talking.
Yeah, I did notice that, but obviously I'm still watching this battle because I'm pretty certain one of these is either going to make a big play. And look, Alfie now has, quite crucially, more ERS than Pivens. Pivens has been using that ERS. Alfie's just turned the gas up a little bit. He's just turned up the heat just to say, I know you're keeping up with me and you're doing well, but I can push it up a gear.
Loki's made a mistake as well, by the way. He's dropped a good second now on Stewart. He needs to start being careful of Legend and Halo behind. Halo's gaining quite a lot on Legend actually, so we might see a battle in the final few laps.
Pivens is right behind Alfie, but I don't know what the dirty air is like at this track.
Not that bad apparently. 3 laps to go. It's going to be quite a tense end. Who do you think is going to get it, guys? Those that are still watching.
Yeah, who do you think? Is it going to be Alfie? Is it going to be Pivens? Or are these two going to collide? There's a possibility these two will collide.
Oh, imagine that. And then...
What, Stewart takes the win? Oh,
imagine
your
that.
dream come true.
Yeah. Halo's catching Legend quite quickly. Halo is also under-fueled. Corn's been a very lonely race so far, up in P7 though. So,
Again, very consistent.
yeah, consistent race to Corny. Good to get some good points on the board.
Alfie went a bit wide there, actually coming out of Spoon. Obviously, this is the battle we need to look at because no one else is any closer. So we're going to just stay on board with Pivens. For most of the end of this race, obviously we'll pick up on other incidents. He is still keeping with Alfie.
UFO 361
And yellow
in
flag,
chat says
sector 2.
Alfie.
That is Style. Yep, Style. He has had an absolute torrid day at the office.
Backwards. Yeah, the
This is the
Hassan
closest
not.
I've seen.
Hassan struggling.
Yep, Pivens is just sticking behind Alfie. If Pivens doesn't make a lunge on Alfie, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, UFO 361 in chat says Alfie's got it.
I think he has. I just don't see Pivens making a move on him. If he's too scared to make a lunge, he
Oh.
had the minerals.
But
Maybe it's
Alfie now,
compact-
for the first time in this race, has got more ERS than Pivens. So obviously he's not going to know that. But
Well, the thing is as well, this is what I mean. If Pivens had used that ERS as these yellow flags in sector 3, it's
more style, yeah.
probably Styles slowing down. And Pivens has made a mistake. He clipped one of the curves at the
Ooh.
S section, and this could be fatal now. One mistake costs him, and this is the point we've been making all race, that you've got to keep with Alfie, and if you get the opportunity, take it with both hands. Don't falter and think don't think you're smarter than the opportunity, because at the end of the day, if it's a lack of confidence of him not overtaking, I completely understand. And now, because he's made a mistake, he's got to use a lot of ERS to keep up with him. And sadly, this is a downfall of the strategy of just sitting tight and hoping for a mistake either or the opportunity to come, because now he's got 14% worth of VRS, Alfie has 44. I think the tables have turned into Alfie's advantage. P-Benz has made a critical error, and I feel like Alfie has got this in the bag now. Barring he doesn't make a mistake.
Halo! Oh god, Halo was binned it and spoon. He's lost his chance now with Legend.
I think Legend's going to hold on to P5.
Yeah,
now
Halo almost spun it.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, I think P-Benz has actually faltered faltered here. He's got to go this lap. Because if he doesn't, he's in trouble. But if this pulls off, fair play to him. He's done it the hard way, but the easier way is to keep Alfie behind. But he could have cost himself victory, guys. 2 laps to go.
Alfie's got 50% ERS compared to P-Benz's 20. So even if P-Benz gets the run, Alfie has got so much more ERS at hand.
He's got a good run into it. They were very equal for a while, but that mistake that P-Benz made has caught Alfie. Alfie could quite possibly use all his ERS to pull away out of the DRS in the final lap. This is the point this is the point we try to make. You've got to use that opportunity when you've got it. You can't think, if you've got, like, it's so cliche, but if the gap is there, go for it. Don't try and think tactics. Because this ultimately might have cost P-Benz the victory. Because Alfie's got 50% ERS. Here he comes round in the final corner. I take it Alfie will use a lot of ERS. He's got a lot to use. He chooses not to.
He's going to use it on the last lap. He's going to just use it and just walks away.
He'll probably use it, yep. And this is the problem. P-Benz, I believe, has squandered this victory.
He did, but he has shown that he has been up with pace with Alfie. Alfie has not been untouchable like we have seen in some of these races.
Here we go.
So,
yep, he's trying to. Yep, there it is. Look, he's made it. Yeah, there it is. There's confirmation that he's made the error. Alfie has blitzed his ERS, and P-Benz has blown his chance, unfortunately. And that is the problem, guys. Like, for future guys, it's not smart to just wager opportunity, because at the end of the day, if you get the opportunity, take it with both hands, because there's a possibility you could make a mistake and that opportunity may never arise again. P-Benz unfortunately has found that out the hard way.
He's also on low fuel, is P-Benz, so he cannot rely on his fuel to make him any quicker either. Alfie's not even got the warning light on yet, so I imagine he's in rich right now. But P-Benz has done well though. He has done well. He's had a strong pace. He has stayed with Alfie for as long as he could.
I'm not disputing he's driving well. I just feel like his decision making hasn't been best. I feel like he had opportunities there. Like, he had a really good opportunity. I think it was about lap 19, and he didn't take it. I feel like if you've got the opportunity, take it. Don't falter out. You've got to take the opportunity with both hands. But here we go. Last straight, he's going to throw everything at the dice. But Alfie's played P-Benz in his own game there, because
Alfie's also looking to improve on this lap. He's already in the 10th up.
Yeah,
so
anyway, here he goes round in the final corner now. It's been a bit of a dull Japanese Grand Prix, but he started 12th, and he's going to come through to win the Japanese Grand Prix and probably give him a good chance in the championship, and wins the title. P-Benz second in line, and now there's a long gap to Stewart, who has driven brilliantly to get third. Congratulations to Alfie. But here comes Stewart now to claim third. Just cruises to the line. And here comes Loki, takes a very good fourth.
Yep, Loki good fourth. Legend, a good P5, Legend would be happy with that. Halo's P6.
Really lost off, unless he was fuel saving.
Yeah.
And he comes over 6.
Corn, a nice quiet P7, I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and he will stay 7th without penalties, because Nicholas just isn't close enough, unfortunately. Here comes Corn to take 7th.
Nicholas had a bit of a mare this race, if I'm honest, but he's going to get...
Too many errors for Nicholas.
8th place, yet. Zombies will get 9th, despite his... just being off the track multiple times this race, but... That's what you get, though. You don't... By not giving up, you do get points. Bonge is going to get the final point, believe it or not, after his... he's had a torrid race, as is his teammate, but he's going to get a point anyway for the Haas. He's got no fuel. Yeah, he's got no. He's got fuel. He's accelerating. He's just.
He'll be all right anyway because Rupture is a lap down. So.
Oh. Yeah, Alfie did it really well then. And I've played
Yeah,
P-Vents
good
at
race
his own
for
game.
Alfie.
Stuart did
Yeah,
well
he
as
did
well.
play. Yeah, it seemed like P-Vents and Alfie were in a class of his own as Bonds drives into the pits across the line and takes 10th. Well, there it is. That is the Japanese Grand Prix. Not the most exciting races. We obviously had a really good start, and then it faltered out a lot towards the end. Who's your driver of the day? Probably got to be Alfie, hasn't it?
Yeah, Alfie for me.
But I think P-Benz had a missed opportunity there, and I feel like if he'd been a bit braver or possibly a bit less conservative on his strategy, he possibly could have won this race.
Yeah.
I feel like he's missed an opportunity, unfortunately. Stuart gets another deserved podium. Just wishing for that first victory for him, unfortunately, and it's not seems to be happening. Doesn't seem to be happening for him. Brazil's probably his next best bet, unless obviously Alfie does make another mistake. But even with making mistakes in qualifying, he still comes through. Obviously, very lucky with a lot of drivers making mistakes for him.
I'll get them invites.
Yep. But there is the final standings, guys. Starting from P12 on the grid, Alfie does take victory at Japan. P-Benz gets second, Stuart gets third, Loki a very, very solid fourth place, Legend takes fifth, and Halo takes sixth. Fathercorn takes seventh, Nicholas takes eighth, Zombes takes ninth, Bonge takes 10th, Ruction takes 11th, and My Style gets the final place. And the 3 DNFs were Mr. Tado, Green King, and Apollo. Anyway, we've got all the drivers in. Just make sure you've all included your audio, guys, before we start.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
Stuart, we all good?
Also,
Right. Anyway, here we go, guys. We've got the drivers in. We have got Stuart in P3, P-Benz in P2, and Alfie in P1. And we're going to start off with Stuart. Bit of a quiet race for you, really. I thought you had a really good opportunity at getting possibly pushing for the lead, obviously, but Benz and Alfie were just a little bit too strong for you. Obviously, Alfie charged through the field, but you've got your third straight podium, and I believe that's about your 9th for the season. You've been so consistent on that podium from not being on the top step, unfortunately. So, how are you feeling about that race?
It's alright, a bit boring, but nothing really happened from my perspective, so...
Yeah, it was just a solid race for you, really, just trying to keep out of trouble, which you really did, and you took the opportunity of the podium, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Anyway, moving on to P-Benz, so close to a victory again, but I feel like a bit of a missed opportunity from your P-Benz, really. When you had the opportunities handed to you, you didn't stick it into overtaking, get past Alfie. You decided to sit back, and unfortunately, you didn't get the victory, and I feel like you missed an opportunity when you tried to sit back and be more conservative. So what are your opinions after that race?
Yeah, once Alfie overtook me, I tried to put him under as much pressure as I could, but he was too strong. Yeah, he was really fast. Well done to him.
Yeah, I think you were strong enough to get past him, though. I think there were a few opportunities we did catch where you had the opportunity and you just didn't stick it in place, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I was close enough.
Well, there were
Unfortunately.
opportunities where we were watching. There was one. I think there was one definite opportunity where you didn't use any of your ERS, and you had the DRS, and you were nearly alongside him going into turn 1. But obviously, well done on P2. Obviously, snatched pole quite comfortably, but well done on your second place.
Thanks.
Anyway, moving on to the race winner, Alfie. Obviously, disaster in qualifying. Bit lucky getting through the field with relying on a lot of other people making mistakes more than you getting through. But obviously, a good few overtakes there as well. And then snatching P1. So what were your views on that race?
Well, you've got to keep the car facing forward to the finish, so that's one thing I managed to do apart from equality. But yeah, it was good. It was not good at the start. I don't know if you caught that on the stream where me and Cora made a bit of contact. It was more of a racing incident, and I just went into the grass and I managed to save it, but I lost like 4 positions off that, and then the safety car kind of saved me a little bit because I'd lost a bit of time. But from there, I just sort of drove, and the pace was there.
Anyway, well done. So Obviously, we got a few more rounds now, and with Chalupa having a no-show and a full 25 points here, you've got to be feeling pretty comfortable now going into the final few rounds. Obviously, it's not over till it's over, but unfortunately, it's not looking very likely for you. For Chalupa, sorry.
Well, I don't really want to say anything because there's always a chance that I DNF in every single one of these next races. So
Always. But anyway, we'll obviously we're going to be going into the D1 race now. Obviously, 5 minutes to go. But that has been the Japanese Grand Prix. Not the most exciting races compared to ones we've had, but not every race can be in a banger. So unfortunately, we leave Japan for the final time this season.
Join us in
and
Division
we're gonna
1.
be yeah, we'll obviously be in Division 1. Obviously, there's God knows what's going to be happening in that race. But from me and Taz, it is goodbye.
Farewell.